welcome back to my channel. It's your boy D Dyson. So I did get to watch Thor Love and Thunder last night. Was supposed to watch it Friday, but some things had occurred. But got to watch it, and at best I want to give this, I'll give this a rating out flat 7 out of 10. I did love Taika Waititi's, like, how he makes Thor so colorful, them monochromatic when it comes to the Necromonger. And this is a spoiler talk, and just, you know, from what I watched with the breakdowns and other people's reactions and reviews of it, I'm total in agreement with most of what people have said in terms of just overall Thor Love and Thunder. I think Thor Ragnarok was his best of the Thor series from Thor 1 to 4. A lot of people love the first one. I do too. I really love Thor, the first Thor, and I love Thor Ragnarok. If I had to rate these, it would be Thor Ragnarok, Thor 1, then Thor Love and Thunder, then The Dark World. Because I was telling myself with this, I just looked at it in terms of it just furthered the story and pushed the MCU forward. Like, this was introduction of gods and how you got to see them from different religions, different backgrounds, just from different standpoints of that can introduce a lot more superheroes because they have god-like abilities. So, and even further in the story of X-Men. Now you know that gods are real. X-Men's going to bring the mutants. So you're going to see a whole universe of just different superheroes doing different things for different purposes, you know. And I love Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher, and I totally agree with, I believe it was Jeremy Jahns when he said, I just wish that he had a really good standpoint or a really good arc of, because he lost his daughter, you know, and he praying to this God, and the guy was like, you're meant to die. So they're just being wicked and, you know, rude to him. And because he, you know, he like, I lost my daughter, I lost everything, and, you know, you're going to help us, right? You're going to save me. And he's like, no, your value is to die. You're just here to worship me, just to keep me going. And he takes up a stance where it's like, well, the necromism or necromonger is kind of like that the same stuff that Venom is really having, like a symbiote necromancer type of shadow that's in the universe. It corrupts him and infects him to, if you kill all the gods, we'll go to eternity and you can make your ultimate wish. So that was his purpose, his whole purpose. Now, Christian Bale playing a villain is top tier because, you know, with Christian Bale, he's going to give it his all. And he's right up there with Thanos. He's right up there with Loki. He's right up there with Eric Killmonger. And now you have Gore the God Butcher. And, you know, with Taika Waititi keeping his nose and make sure that he doesn't resemble Voldemort, totally understand that part. But in terms of the movie, I loved how they did with New Asgard with Tessa Thompson being King Valkyrie, because she is, you know, well, just like that. You know, I don't identify as man or woman or anything. I'm a Valkyrie. That's just what I am, you know, and I'm king. That's, you know, it. And I love that they intertwine a lot of things, and just in that arc too, and how they had New Asgard as just a tourist attraction. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they make their money over there. And I'm like, I like that part. And with Jane, I don't know, with this movie, I felt like it was rushed. It was rushed a lot. But like I said, it was just parts where it was moving forward, and I'm like, I look at this movie holistically, like it's just moving the MCU forward. And with Jane Foster, you know, with her having cancer, it's stage 4. Like we had a brief just of that coming of age story when what's his name? Cronin was really just telling the story. Like, you just got bits and pieces of, you know, Thor, between Thor and the Dark World, you know, and how all these things were occurring during the time Thor would be there. So that's why they broke up. So we got the answers of what happened when, you know, when Thor and Infinity War, he's like, oh yeah, I heard you and Jane broke up. And he's like, yeah, you know, they didn't break up, you know. So it's a lot of questions that was answered in this, in a form of story time. So I was okay with it because it was kind of like, yeah, Jane Foster is a character where you may not really care for, but in here you got to see her bulk up as become Mighty Thor, and I like her story arc to see where they're going to go with this, and especially with introducing Valhalla, because I think that could be the next Thor. It might be really ending with Thor 5, Valhalla. I would love that. Kind of like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but you'll have Thor at Valhalla. You know what I'm saying? And, he just goes and chills. Like, this is where I'm going to be at. And, I'll kind of help you guys from a distance. But it's setting up the Young Avengers because you have a younger Heimdall. And you see Heimdall, in Valhalla welcoming Jane Foster type of thing. So I was telling myself, I'm like, okay. And how Thor has to take care of love. And just how that deity is pretty much a god. So it's setting up Young Avengers. And that's why I was like, okay, I want to see where they're going to go with that now. And I would love for Mighty Thor and Valkyrie to come back and team up in an all-women's Avengers. I love to see that type of movie. Just be done right, but I would love to see it. That, and then the fact that it was just a lot of different things. I just, like I said, I love the color scheme. I love the monochromatic. I love how the colors was just on, Thor, and, like, yeah, I'm gonna show him the rainbow type of thing. So I was like, it was a lot of things built on color. And what I liked about another scene was the kids in the cage, what Thor calls them, and there were all the actors' kids, like Natalie Portman's kids, Chris Hemsworth's kids. You know what I'm saying? It was kids from the actual characters and Christian Bale. And then, it was just, but like I said, I like that. And then the fact that when it was such a highlight when he went to go see Zeus and all the other gods. And I was like, wow. Okay. So it's like a world built almost like Asgard. And you just seeing the different gods from different things and different realms. And I was like, wow. Okay. So I like that part because it's going to open up the MCU a lot more. And that was what I was really, really like, okay. You had the Aztecan god, you have so many different gods, the god of dumplings, and you may have the boss with the Black Panther gods. It was just different gods in different forms there. And I was like, okay, even, had the god with Cronin, and he was like, yeah, it's a rock god. And he's sitting on a throne of scissors. And I was just like, I like this. I love the introduction and just how they have it. Then you have Zeus. I think Russell Crowe playing Zeus was really fun because with the Greek accent, and it was made. The takeaway about this was I felt like it could have been a little bit more serious, where it was a lot more comical, but I get it. That's Taika Waititi's style. Thor Ragnarok blended it perfectly, but here it was a little bit too much, like over the top. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more serious, not Dark World serious, but just taking, just to kind of forward. But I can tell that's why they're more comical, because it's having fun because we're on the way out. So I get that theme, and just introducing Zeus and then introducing Hercules because of what Thor did to Zeus. And I'm like, yeah, that'll be a really, really cool battle to be like Hercules versus Thor, and that can be the ultimate battle. And then it can introduce to Planet Hulk, because Hulk may have to go against Hercules. So that would be cool. It would be really cool. Like I said, I'm like, MCU know what they're doing. I feel like with Kevin Feige, this universe, I don't want the universe to be too big for a lot of things. And even with Ra, with Moon Knight and Miss Marvel and everything. So I'm sitting there telling myself, it can be really, really huge and really, really profitable. TV shows, a lot of different things of what they're doing. I just felt like with this movie, it's a tipping off point of phase 4 going into phase 5, and just wrapping up everything that we've had with the TV shows, which was successful with Loki. It just wraps everything up. And that's why I give this a 7, because it was just too comical. But I did love the goats. The goats was one of the funniest things, like true funny, like being here just So I did love the goats. I really did. But like I said, I give this a 7 out of 10. It's enjoyable, rewatchable. Better than Doctor Strange? I think so. I truly think so. I think this was better than Doctor Strange. And I was really hoping Doctor Strange was going to take a really dark turn and really serious dark turn. But, it's Disney. So You know, I get it, but I want one of these things where Marvel becomes their own studio, their own thing. You could just go to Marvel in itself as far as a streaming service, and we're all going to be tuned in. So, but I'm here for it. I can't wait to watch this again on Disney Plus. It'll probably come out, probably early September, and we're going to be here for it. And I can't wait to break down and see more of the breakdowns of what people have already seen at this. But like I said, I love this because it moves the MCU forward. So, you guys enjoyed my review of Thor, Love and Thunder. Subscribe to my channel. Post comment down below and like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.